Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh,
It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
But it's Tuesday morning.
It's Tuesday morning instead of Tuesday at 3:30.
Right. But
So
that'll be
this
this afternoon.
That'll be later. But this will be the last Tuesday morning for a little while.
Yes.
Until something else comes up.
Right.
I don't know what that something else might be, but
No.
I can sleep in again. No,
You can sleep in again. Yeah.
Oh, don't laugh. That's bad too.
All right.
And there's Tony.
Yeah, right on time.
Right on time.
So we have it's Tuesday. It's Tea
Towel
Towel Tuesday.
So we're going to create those creative juices.
Yes.
Maybe our creative juices will
start flowing
if they as they go this morning. So this is actually really cute. I'm not going to lie. The first time I looked at it, I thought they were regular juice boxes, like a carton of milk and an orange juice. I thought the word creative was the word orange. When I just glanced at it, I thought they were just regular juice boxes. And then I actually read it and I was like, oh, that's really cute. Don't mind me. I know how to read.
You know, we do a lot of glancing because
we glanced
there's
at
so
a lot
much.
of things. There was a lot.
But
so
we are making this cute
little guy.
Yeah.
So yes, Sarah and I have our instructions in little binders.
Yes.
We I bought a bundle of those. So that's how I keep my stuff organized at home. So rather than just a staple and then my papers get all yucky because, well, you guys have seen my sewing room. It's not like hers. There's stuff in lots of places. So it might get scrunched up in the corners or something. Yeah. So this helps them nice stay organized. And we color coded and
we did.
So anyway, so that's our instructions that we've got all nice and organized. So pretty simple and straightforward. I mean, tea towels aren't a super complicated thing. So in your hoop, you are going to use sticky, and this is going to be a wash away. If you don't have wash away, you certainly could use a tear away as you wash that towel, which being a towel is going to get washed. The tear away would eventually dissipate in the wash as it goes. So if that's all you have, that certainly would be fine. It's just a personal choice. If you are a seller of things, I would recommend the wash away regardless, just so that it looks pristine from the get. But if it's just for you,
right,
it's all good, right?
Yeah. No one should be looking behind your towels.
No, you guys already know my opinion on people that turn things around and look at the backs of stuff. Drives me batty.
Yes.
Oh, you made this? What's up with that?
Right. I don't know.
I don't get that.
Right. They're looking for your tag. Or they're looking for a store-bought tag?
Maybe. I don't know, but that just drives me batty. And I don't understand the need to look at the back of something homemade.
I don't know.
No, it was not hand-stitched because I don't swear.
Right.
And that's a 4-letter word.
It totally is. Yes.
I don't swear.
It's like one of the worst 4-letter words.
Completely. I might say other ones, but I don't say that one.
All right.
Okay. So let's talk about
2 designs, centering again.
Centering, yes.
And
so
your milk cartons that aren't milk cartons.
What she said. So good morning, Anna and Marilyn. Thank you for joining us this morning. And we're going to pop over on the, I don't know, the work area over here. Yeah. And I'm going to show you how to prep the towel. So,
and maybe how uneven my towel is.
Yeah. So you guys know blanks are not always square. So this little guy is just our pressing cloth. So I'm going to move that out of the way. So if you have not already, you are going to want to press your towel. It's going to be fairly wrinkled from folds from the packaging. So definitely want to use that. If you don't have any of the best press or something of the like, I do recommend picking some of that up. It will definitely help because fold lines are definitely not easy to get out. Neither are ironing lines for that matter, but fold lines definitely take a hot second. So you'll see here in a second what we're talking about about the squareness. So we're going to be working on the orange part of this ombre towel. So the other one in this package was the teal one that we used for the tote bag. And it was the 2-pack. They have not added that to availability for purchase yet. I'm seriously hoping that they do. So how long ago was that? That was February, I think.
Yeah.
I think February, in the fill in the blanks, we did the pink towel that was ombre, and that was in a lime green and pink ombre tea towel set. So they have a couple different colors. I would expect that at some point those would be added because they came up with them. So
yeah,
I can't imagine that those are just going to sit in the warehouse forever.
No.
But we have seen no dates or anything as to when those would be available for purchase.
Could be just that they're just delayed so long that it's not even worth mentioning at this point.
That is absolutely correct. So we did briefly talk about some delays.
Yes,
in shipping dates.
Fit Bees are going to be delayed. They're going to be probably
the middle of the months for August and September instead of the 1st.
Yeah, we may end up just skipping August and then doing August at the beginning of September.
Yeah, that might work.
So
we'll have to see how the dates fall.
Yeah.
And we will certainly keep you guys all updated. So this is the orange ombre. So in your Bella box, you got a 2-pack. That were together. The teal one was for the tote, and then this is the orange. We are going to be working on the orange end, not the white end. So if you don't feel like pressing the whole thing, at least press the orange part. So we're going to do pretty side to pretty side, and we're going to hot dog fold that. So once you have that all pressed, we are going to try and line up your let me scooch that up just a little bit so you guys can see. So I'm going to fold this back. You can see that this is not super square because those corners just don't line up. Unfortunately, blanks sometimes aren't going to be square, and there's really not a whole lot you can do about it. So what you're going to want is to get it as close as possible and make it as square. So this corner is square. This corner, and you can very clearly see, kind of goes up a little bit. It is not square. So we're going to base everything off of the one that is. So what we need to do is fold those again, right sides together. So wrong sides are going to be out. And that is because this is what we're doing, is finding that crosshair. And I covered up my ruler. Let me grab that. All right. And if you are following along in the instructions, I am on page 5. Sorry, I already turned the page. And then we want to come in 4 inches so that we're finding that crosshair here. So I find it easiest if I put my ruler on top and then count in where I need to go. So this is, of course, 4 inches. I'm pretty sure you guys can count. And I want this fold here to be in 4 inches. So I am going to mark that at 4, and then I'm going to hold that fold and press and get my corner piece here. So this is going to be that crosshair. And if I were to open that up, I would very clearly be able to see where that is. In the instructions, they have you marking that with a fabric marker of some sort. Usually they suggest a water-soluble pen. By all means, you can do that. I find fabric markers to be kind of like tape. I only use them when I have to. In this instance, I don't feel I have to because, like I said, I've got that very clearly at 4, and I've used my iron. So I've pressed that line in there very, very clearly. And I am using that top corner as my mark, not the kind of not crooked, kind of not straight, kind of weird corner. So this is the die that we're looking at. And we are going to then stitch out the, crosshair.
Yes.
It's early. I'm getting there.
So I'm going to do that right now. So the first color that we're going to use is the color for the drinking straw. And I do have that in, so I'm doing my crosshair in the pretty little aqua color here. I'll flip that over. Oops, I got your head, Lisa. I'm sorry.
My bad. I shouldn't have moved.
That's all right. So you guys can see, so here's our little crosshair. And then Lisa's going to come over here and bring the towel. Or do you want to bring it over there so they can see? Is that easier?
I don't care. Which corner am I going to?
Here you go.
Okay, thanks.
It's probably easier for them to see. So I just want to remind, if you haven't stitched since the last time we stitched, you had your presser foot height up. So you might want to put that back down if you are having some difficulty stitching between now and then, or whatever. We did raise that the last Kimberbell project. So make sure that you go and put that back down.
So depending upon which direction you fold it up from, so if you had your edges at the top or if you had the edges at the bottom. So in the pictures in your instructions, they had the edges at the top. We had our edges at the bottom. So I'm in the opposite corner of the instructions because my edges were in the opposite place. So what I'm looking for is for when I open this up, of course, my center point will be on that line. So again, this is sticky. I want to smooth that out. And I'm going to line up with that line and I'm going to push. Now, I know I've said this before. I generally walk my line up. I don't know how well you guys can see that press line on camera, but I generally walk that up, whether it is a marked line or a pressed line. I walk it up my stitch line, and that way I know that I'm not going crooked as I move. You certainly could check the bottom one if you wanted to, but if the top one's straight, that generally means the bottom one is too. It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
It is.
And then, of course, we're going to smooth that out. So I can actually see the thread lines in there. Again, I don't know how well you guys can see that. And you should double check that you're not running over your mic cord.
That's right.
Always double check that before you stitch.
Everyone should stitch.
Everybody should stitch with the microphone cord. And try to. Why do we keep using the hoop? That is the hardest one to get.
I was thinking the same thing when I was pulling it in. I was like, oh, we didn't
clean that.
No, we did not. All right.
All right. So we have, again, the excess of the towel is going over the arm of the machine. So if you're looking at the screen of your machine, you're always double check that everything is going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. So the way that this was designed is the tops of your juice boxes is also pointing towards the arm of your machine. Mm-hmm. So just make sure that you are putting everything in the right way.
Absolutely.
Before you stitch.
Before you stitch.
All right. Any idea what the heck we're doing?
Yeah, the straw.
The straw.
Which is the clear vinyl. I do.
We lost it already?
I lost it. It's been in my hand.
Okay. So I got a question on my phone that I'm assuming she's watching, but the foot pedal special that we talked about the other day on Tuesday afternoon mm-hmm. is certainly still available. We don't plan to change that, do we? I don't see why.
Not until we
can't do it anymore.
As
long as we can still do it, it will still be available. So let's go ahead and
in full disclosure, we certainly expect that prices coming September may be changing.
That might change.
So that price will stay as long as we can hold that price. I think that's really
as long as we can.
Yes. And knowing that could change literally any minute, but we've got more on order. So we ran out of the first group and we've got more coming. So I've got that over top of that.
All right.
I'm not really sure what I expected it to stitch. That wasn't it, though.
So basically what we've got there are kind of the ends of the straws. So like the bendy straws mm-hmm. is really what we're talking about. So if you guys remember from way, way back in elementary school when we'd buy those cartons and they had the straw stuck to the side of the carton, mm-hmm. it was a little tiny bendy straw. That's what the kind of thing that we're looking at here.
Right.
And
it's
so
super hard to see.
It's really hard to see, but there's two little things that are mimicking the end of the straw and then the bendy portion of the straw.
Yeah.
So that is going to be what's underneath the vinyl. Mm-hmm. So we are going to, of course, not tape it down. And we're going to stitch now what will be the top stitching, and then those stitches are going to be what's underneath. So it gives us a the understitching of what that's going to be. So now I just need to trim. What do we got now? Maybe
The same thing.
Maybe that was placement line. Maybe we should read the instructions.
I did. That's the sad thing. Okay, so I'm going to stitch it again.
My head's in the way. Oh, there was this placement line.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I read stitch the drinking straw placement line as the first step. Oh, well.
That's okay. So it's literally the same thing. So we've got just
there we go.
A really
it's thick
stitch
nice.
line. It's going to be super easy to trim around.
Yes.
If only
if you can get the hoop
out of the machine. I need scissors. You got those by you.
Oh yes. Do you want these or these?
Those
you
guys.
might need both.
Okay. All right. So this is, of course, going to be a hopefully one trim wonder. And I like to fold up my edges so I have a clean piece as close as possible to whatever it is that I'm trimming. I am not a huge raw edge. I don't like a large raw edge, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know about Sarah, but since I'm cutting, she gets what I like.
I'm good with that. All right. The next thing that we're going to be doing is the placement line for the leather, which is white.
The large white
And
piece.
that's going to be the actual bases of
our
the
juice boxes.
So
I missed. There we go. So if you have a hoop like ours that doesn't like to slide super well, what you can do and what you should do is clean that slide. It should help it. And what I mean by clean is take like a Clorox wipe and literally wipe down that slide, which we keep forgetting to do.
Yeah.
Because we're here and to get up and run and do that just doesn't work. So we're just going to do that placement line while I'm rambling. And then the other thing that you should do is if it's not sliding super well, hold the back of, back down here, hold that while you're sliding in your hoop because you don't want it to misalign. And if you push super hard, you can actually move that slide where it's attaching. And you don't want that because then your whole design is going to be out of position. So to make sure that that's not happening.
And the truth is, when I teach hooping on the machine, I always teach you.
I always do that.
Right?
I never slide my hoop in without kind of preparing that by holding that piece in there.
Because that really is the best way to get your
making sure that everything is always going to line up.
Right.
Absolutely. So, and again, this is a place where you could place this down and tape it if you are not comfortable. This piece does completely cover, but there's not a huge amount of overlap. So
it does have a little bit of like, there's like a flannelly type back. So it actually stitches really well.
Yep. And it stays down pretty good. So I'm just going to follow the needle around and keep it nice and flat as it goes. When I do that, you'll notice my hand is not right next to the needle. I usually try to keep it about an inch away, but I do not use tape unless I absolutely have to. Not because I'm that frugal. It's not that tape is that expensive. It's just time. It takes time to rip the tape, put the tape on, take the tape off, and yada, yada, yada. So I just find that this is easier. And I can move a little bit faster.
So if you are following along, we are on page 6. We are doing steps 4 and 5. So 4 was the tack down or the placement, and 5 is the actual tap down. Yep, tap.
I can tap
out.
Can you tap dance?
Sure. I don't know that they're actually real dance moves, but
you can tap your feet.
I can tap my feet. Snap my fingers. I can do them at the same time.
Can you now? I could teach you some moves. I used to teach.
Then we could do that on our show.
I used to teach tap dance.
That would be really fun.
It's been many a year.
People, some entertaining.
It'd be better than the moo dancers.
The moo dancers, yeah.
Yes, we could totally upgrade.
Yeah, we could have like an intro of us tapping across the screen.
That could be. They could record us, and that would be our like.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah.
Totally it. Totally it. All right, switching screens. Here we go.
It's hysterical what happens when we
You just never know what we're gonna say, do you? It's a surprise.
It's a surprise
On a regular basis.
Don't rehearse this.
Nope.
I'm sure that's a
it
surprise.
wouldn't be as entertaining. We've tried rehearsed things. It doesn't work.
No.
Yeah, we had to do a recording for one of our events. They asked us to do a little video and send it in, and then they never played it. It was probably because it wasn't very good.
It was bad.
They
were like, that's not a good representation.
They were like, yeah, that's not good. Those ladies are not good at this.
All right. So Lisa is going to trim around, and again, this is raw edge.
No, I think it's satin edged, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, you're right. This is that leather edge, I think is the word I was looking for, not raw edge. But you are not going to be seeing it, so you don't have to be as close. This would actually be one of those ones that wouldn't be bad because the white backing, you would not
it's
see.
Actually a nice clean edge because it's white with white.
Right.
Of course, that's the one they satin stitch the edges. All right, so I'm coming up to where that vinyl backing is. Just be careful that you don't clip into that. Also, make sure you're not clipping through the towel. That would be bad. But it's Sarah's, so who cares, right?
Right.
All right, one's done. There we go.
Woohoo.
On to number 2.
And the next thing that it's going to do is the placement and the tack down for the blue part of the juice box.
Morning, Hayden.
Everybody wish Hayden a
happy day after birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Do me a huge favor. Could you give me a Clorox wipe from the bucket of wipes? So I'd also like to note that even had we ironed this, I'm totally wrinkling it as I spin around and around. Thank you so much.
And if you're just tuning in, we have our thread sale this week. So we were super busy on Sunday with online sales and yesterday, but we're not out of thread.
A couple colors, but big picture, we've got it. Everything.
That's right.
Big
so,
picture.
Now is a good time to stock up because it is 35% off,
Yep.
and it automatically shows up in your cart. There is no special coupon code that you need. You just need to put it in your cart.
Better.
Good.
Not
all right.
Not completely.
Okay, and so the next thing that we're going to do is the tack down for the blue.
I'm staying out.
It's hard, isn't it?
Hold my hand still.
The struggle is real.
It totally is.
And so you have 2 blue pieces. This one is actually for the slightly larger or fatter piece.
I'll take your word for it.
Yes, the other one is a straight line across. So
On the other
side, yeah.
See, Sarah doesn't use tape either.
Tape is hard.
Tape is hard.
There are times.
I mean,
I feel
times,
like when I do use tape, I use a ton of tape. Like I am like,
you're not
okay,
wrong. Yeah.
let's tape this mother down.
Yeah.
So
And you're
going
going to
to
tape the living daylights out of it, right? Absolutely. All right. So now we need to, of course, trim the excess off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Still not perfect there. I think it's this hoop.
Might be.
But we'll wipe it down one more time and see if that helps.
All right. And the next thing that we're doing is the placement line for the other, like the peachy, orangey color. And I think this one is going to be the skinnier version or the smaller version, maybe. Nope. 2 pieces. I'm just totally talking to myself here.
It's all good. That's kind of a normal part of this gig, isn't it?
Feels like it. So I am threading up with like our orange color here.
All right.
Yeah, so if you have stock and Clorox wipes, because you've been stocking up, this is a good use of them.
Definitely helped, but it's still a little bit sticky on here. It's like your train when you get married. You have to make sure nobody trips over it or steps on it. It's just the same thing.
Same thing.
Yes. You didn't have one of those?
I did not. Eloping, you tend not to have those fancy things.
No?
No. I had one.
Mine was super long and super heavy.
Yeah. I had a whole wedding dress and a veil and all that. We just eloped and I didn't wear it.
I remember that story.
Sometimes life changes. That's all right. They're good, fun stories to laugh about. Do you want me to swap that for a second?
I was going for my instructions, but I'll just wait.
How about mine?
Oh, it's fine. I just was looking to see what the heck we were doing.
This little...
Oh, I see. Okay. Yep, the stripe on the top.
Yes.
Got it.
And then that little doodad.
Got it. So one big one?
Yes. So I think that would be this one.
Okay. We've got more if we need it.
We do.
Oh my God.
Did you see my note about Tanya? Okay.
I should just hang on to that because she's probably going to do it again. This is 3, right?
4. Yeah, 3 or 4.
4 now?
Yeah.
Do you know how many foot pedals we've got ordered?
I believe I had him order 6 more. All right, so we're going to take that bad boy off and trim around there.
Does not want to move.
And it looks like the next thing that we're going to be doing
is the orange.
Is the orange, yeah, which is the glitter. Oh.
What did you just do?
My pages just poofed out.
Oh, you opened too far?
Yeah. And my, it didn't go like poof poof, but it went poof.
You lost the snap end?
I did.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to keep the same color in. And I've got my glitter. So if you're prepping your stuff, make sure that you peel that plastic piece off. Marilyn, we were cleaning the hoop part, the mechanism that slides in and out of your machine. We cleaned it with the Clorox wipe because it was a little sticky.
Oops. I think we're beyond a cleaning repair.
It's better.
It is better, but it's that first initial, maybe the end of it is.
Okay, right. So we are going to do the circle for our little glittery orange. I wish oranges looked like this for real, right? Who wouldn't want to eat them if they were sparkly?
So on the way here, the radio, they were talking about this burger,
Mm-hmm.
the world's most expensive burger.
Oh, at Disney. It's actually at Disneyland, which is in California.
That it's $5,949.
Yeah.
And that it had gold flake on the bun, and it's called the golden something burger.
A burger, yeah.
And they were saying, yeah, it sounds great, but would it actually be any good? So everything goes to charity, I guess, or so, you know, the whole whatnot of it. And I was just like, it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, who would want all of that in a burger? It's just like, ew.
I know.
But, all right, one more trim.
All right, so Lisa's going to trim around that glitter.
And this
and then
is not got a satin stitch. If
it
I
does
recall.
not, but I think it does have some other stitching.
It's got an green, which I don't think we pulled.
I got green over here.
Okay.
But we are going to press that after she is done trimming around that, because again, that's a fusible glitter, and we don't want that to shift when we start stitching the little leaf later on. So she's going to trim around, and then we have our fancy press cloth over there, and we're going to give that a little bit of a fuse. So if you are using fusible vinyl or glitter or anything like that, you do want to make sure that after you do a placement line or a tack down, like hopefully your decorative stitching is separate from the actual, maybe like the tack down piece, because you definitely want to give that a press, because sometimes if it's doing a satin stitch or something around the edge or something decorative, because the fabric has a little bit of give to it and it's not fused down, it will actually sort of pucker up.
Yep.
And you will get, which I mean, can be
be a design choice.
Right.
So, I mean, I've used it as snow with white. So there's my trimmed little guy, right? So the other thing is, of course, you never want your iron to hit leather. So make sure that you're covering up that leather as well.
And the vinyl at the top.
And the vinyl, yes. So none of this, we want the iron to hit none of that.
That's right.
So make sure that you have something. So if you don't have a actual pressing cloth, make sure that you just, it can be a piece of fabric. So this is basically a napkin from a napkin class that we had. I think that needs just a little bit more. It's still feels a little squishy. Of course, going on leather, it's probably bound to feel a little squishy. All right, so little thread. All right. So anyway, I've used that white glitter as snow on like the Ginger's kitchen pillow on the gingerbread houses. And it says to press it. I chose not to. And then when it did the stitching around the outside, it actually poofed and it looks like snow because it's got these little tufts here and there in random places. And I actually like it better that way.
Yeah.
So it can be a design choice.
Absolutely.
Not just, I forgot to iron it.
Oh, yeah.
I actually meant to not iron it.
Right.
I'm
not sure what I was doing. I'm like lollygagging over here. Where's my green? It's right next to me. I'm having a complete conversation by myself.
Sometimes those are the best.
All right. Hi, Miss Pam.
It's okay.
Yeah. That's the beauty about video, right? You can always rewatch it. Oh, I guess video that it stays up.
That's
So
absolutely
clarify
correct.
that.
All right, so we've got green. We're gonna put a little leaf on the orange.
Shorts.
I was hoping so. Goodness gracious, I hope so. So now we have words that are going to go on this little guy here. So in the picture that you would see on the front of your directions, I believe those are actually stitched in white. So we decided we didn't like black, which is what comes up actually, or gray or something to that effect in the color stop list. We're going to do that in the tealy color so that you can see it, because we both thought the white was a little hard to see, at least in the photograph. You can, of course, do whatever you would like, but we're rethreaded with that lovely 903 color that we keep using because we like it.
You like it.
And so we're going to have some pretty teal colors here. Got a loop of thread there we're going to want to fix at some point. I'm saying something that this machine actually feels really loud right now. That's better than white.
And the next thing that it's going to do after that is the creative juice, which
we had an orange, I believe, is what we were doing.
Yeah. This one, right?
Yes, ma'am. Unless you wanted a different one.
No,
we were talking about yellow as well. So you liked those two colors, but I don't know where you were going to swap them.
I'm going to use this one next.
Okay.
I don't think I like these zipper pockets. But at least there's pockets.
All right. So the next thing is we have the words that are going to be stitched here, which is your creative, not orange juice. I think I saw the orange and didn't bother
to read
it. I just let my brain fill in the blank.
Sure. Her brain fit bead.
I filled in the blank. I did. I think that's really funny, considering the first time I wrote Fit B, you had no idea what the heck I was talking about.
I know, I did not.
You're like, what is this? I'm like, fill in. Oh! I fit bead, huh?
Yeah.
I did.
Sounds like we should be doing a workout. It's the Kimberbell workout. We're fit bees.
I'm a fit A. I don't know what you're talking about. You can be a bee if you want to be a bee. I prefer. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what any of that means. I'm just rambling.
It's okay. Oh, fills the time.
It evidently.
Wow. So it's actually stitching pretty good. If you have, I would say, consistent issue with maybe some bobbin thread
stitches coming up,
you might want to change.
Want to run a whatever color you're doing here to match the bobbin thread to the top thread for those. But kind of the cursive letters can sometimes show your bobbin thread. I find it shows more when you have a darker thread.
Oh yeah.
So, if you've got a lighter thread anyways, it might be happening and you just don't see it.
Yep.
The black definitely shows if you are having that issue. So I
feel like they could have done the juice boxes sort of at the same time. Like we could have put both blues on at the same time. It would have been okay. I don't know why they. I mean, I guess it's nice if you want more choices.
And maybe that was the thought was.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been 2 color stops.
Exactly.
So that, hey, I'm going to match these.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm going to do them together and put those next to one another like they did the 2 whites together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it would have been cute if it said like percentages down the list instead of just lines. Of course, it would have been really small, but
right.
You could like write something in there if your creative juices were flowing. Mine are obviously not because I'm like, you could fit B. Fill in the blank.
Fit B. Yes.
You could totally do that. We've got a loop. Since it's going to do that letter again, see if we can prevent your loop from stitching this time.
Tiny letters.
Yeah, we'll see how it does. Hopefully, with all of that length in there with the leather, you should get a nice clean. Hopefully. What does that say?
I think it says 1 cup a day.
Okay. Are we doing all right?
I think so. I think with the white being down there, it would be hard to tell if you weren't.
True statement. It does say 1 cup a day.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now it says 1 cup a day because there's a jump stitch over the U.
Yes, because we all need 1 cup a day in our life. I hope for all of your sakes that you don't have 1 cup in your day of life.
Right?
Unless you're married to one or something like that. I really hope that that's not the case. If so, lay off the gas, guys.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of messy with the jump stitches in there right now. It like I don't even know what that says, but it is supposed to be 1 cup.
It'll totally come up.
And now I'm saying 1 cup.
Now you're saying 1 cup. All right, so now we just have the lines. Are we also doing those in black?
I don't see why not. So.
I think that'll look great.
I cannot believe that it's almost August.
I don't know where the time went.
I don't know either. I felt like I had so much time to prep for Disney, and now I feel like it's here. Like it's not, but there's only a month in between the time before we go. I'm not prepared.
Creamsicle. Yeah, I can totally see that. What about in Orange Julius? That could be as well.
Mm-hmm. I think it looks like a pineapple Dole Whip.
All right.
I obviously have Disney on my brain.
No.
I got to start making my Disney decals for the RV.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
Yes.
Yeah. I have some files to email you. I never got that far.
Oh, that's
all right. So now we are on carton number 2.
Right. And this
which color is that?
It's this color.
That color again.
Yes.
My directions are on the other side of the camera, so unless you guys wanted to see the back of my head, instead you get to see the back of my arm. Some nice flap going on there, so lucky you guys. All right, so we're going to do that placement line for where to place the fabric for the stitching for this guy. So that's going to be that one.
Yep.
So, of course, completely cover that up and let her rip. With having that leather down there, it's a pretty stable base for all of these stitches. All All right. Did we? Well, we have the little.
The pear.
I was just gonna say I could maybe trim the end of that, and we could do the next one. Let me reach.
And then we could trim at the same time.
And then at least
That's
only
one
have
less.
one pull out of the hoop here. All right.
So we just trimmed the bottom piece here.
So that we have clearance to stitch the next color stop. And then unfortunately, we can't get away with that for the next one.
No. And that is going to be this one. So.
Yep. And that is the peach. No. Peach? Nope. Not a peach.
Pear?
Pear. Orange, whatever it is.
I wonder why the pear is orange.
I don't know. I don't know. Do you want a different color?
That's fine. But shouldn't a pear be green? I don't think I have green fabric.
I don't know. You want me to grab my fabric?
Sure. Let's make a design
choice
right now.
So you stitch that placement line, and I will be back in a moment.
Okay. And I think I'm going to change it.
I got to walk in front of the camera, though. Sorry. Oh, no, you switched
I switched it.
Good job.
So we have, we're changing our fabrics because we can. And
so like even this would be better. We don't, oh no, that's that some color, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about here's green.
Let's do, what about that
Here's
green?
Green.
Yeah. That's closer. We'll do that one. And I'll use what thread?
What about that one?
That'll be okay.
You want a lighter? Is that what your thought was?
I don't have anything lighter over here. I was thinking maybe something more yellowy green, but this is okay.
I have something yellowy.
Yeah, I got yellow too.
Unfortunately, that's about all we've got here.
That's okay. I'm okay with this.
I've got darkers, but I've got...
No, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. All right, so we've decided to make this our pear instead of the peachy color, which I don't know. I gotta thread the needle.
That helps.
Yes.
It's all about the design choice.
Right?
That'll look good.
That would be cute.
So this did come out of that same charm pack. If you like the color choice, I didn't ransack the store.
No.
This came out of the pack that was in your Bella box. So. And I don't believe it's used. It's possible that it was in the create banner piece. I haven't pulled stuff from that, but you have two pieces of it, and I'm sure you don't need both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a problem. I'm 100% sure for that tiny little corner inch that you would need for that.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So now I definitely need to remove the hoop and trim.
Yeah.
And I will trim both of those pieces instead of just one.
And then the next one is that peach. So I am threading for a light pink.
So there's that cute little pear. Alrighty.
That's cute.
I actually really like it. It looks really sharp.
It does. It's a nice little, it's just a hint.
It gives it just that color.
Mm-hmm. It's really cute.
It pops instead of blends. Thank you. Really is nice having that third hand.
It is amazing.
It makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so we've got that little outline right on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. And this is our box of fresh inspiration.
Maybe we inspired them to change.
Yeah. I didn't read this one at all, obviously. It definitely didn't say milk.
No.
Maybe I thought it said fresh grapefruit.
Maybe.
I got nothing.
So, wait.
Oh, it's going to do it.
There's just something. Yeah.
It's the...
I know, right? So,
okay.
I typically grocery shop on Mondays because that's my day off,
Yeah.
right? So, the Meijer app has been like giving me all these huge coupons, like to do like a pickup, right? I typically just go in, and so I had like $40 in coupons to use.
Oh, geez.
So I was like, fine, I'm gonna do it. So I go there and I pick up my groceries, and in my mind, I'm like, check the produce, right? But I don't. So I get home and I put my hand in the bag, and there were oranges in there, and the orange was like rotten, and so it had like literally like just juiced out over like all of the rest of the vegetables and the fruit that was
terrible.
in the thing. So then I'm like, I'm mad at myself because I didn't check it. So then I pack everything back in the car and I drive it back to Meijer, and I'm thinking that there's like, are they going to give me an issue? You know, I've been gone for like 45 minutes because it took 20 minutes to get home, you know, unload and then come back. And I walked my my produce bag into the store, and I go to the customer service desk, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, but
this is not okay with you.
I'm like, I'm like, don't put your hand in the bag because you're not gonna like what you feel, right? So she just has to do it, and then it's goozy, it's like oozy, right? It's just gross. So I'm like, you can see the problem, right? And I'm like, it's all over everything in there. It's over the grapes, the strawberries, everything.
We probably need green.
No.
Leaves.
Is that the leaf?
I'm assuming we're at the top, so there's a little stem there, and then there it looks like maybe it's the stem. So brown. I don't know. Wait, are you following in directions?
I was. Yes.
You got involved in your story.
I got involved in my story.
So we did that. We're on page 10, I think. So we did that.
The stems.
The stems. So maybe
do I want them to be green or brown?
I don't know what you want.
I don't either. I think they're going to be green.
Or you could do like the orangey color. That might, if you want them to be, if you want like that to be a different color than the leaf part.
Sure. Orange it is.
I don't care.
I don't either.
All right.
Cool. So I ended up basically going to the grocery store and picking out my produce, which didn't save me any time at all yesterday.
But it saved you like $40.
I saved $40, but I think I wasted it in the drive back to the grocery store. And another hour out of my time where, it would have just been fine.
So
the moral of the story is check your produce
before you leave.
Before you leave, because it might be ooey gooey. But the oranges on this remind me of my gooey bag.
Your gooey bag.
Yeah.
So we've got the stem on the top of the pear and then the stem on the top of the, does that show up enough?
I mean, no.
It's not very big.
It's, yeah, I don't know that, unless we had done it in black.
It would have shown up really anyway.
Shown up much, right.
But it'll be better than the same color.
Yeah.
I think. And so those were the stems. And so now we're going to do the leaf on the top of the peach. Here. I think you're going to need this again.
But I also stopped at Menards and got some more water bottles, and they're all tipped, just like the other ones. Which is just hysterical. Like, for whatever reason, there's like a dimple in the bottom. They're the sports caps ones. And every single one that I purchased, and so they don't actually fall over, but they just have a little lean to. So every single bottle is just leaning just a little bit. Hey, we can't find sports top ones at any of our local stores.
All right, so
now we are at the words.
We are at words.
What color? They have them in orange.
They do.
So let's do mine in orange. It'll match the other side.
It will match the other side. That loop is getting every time.
I wonder if the needle's getting a little sticky.
Maybe. Starting to hear it.
Mm-hmm. That's probably a little thick there too.
Did we get more? I pulled the one that came in at like 540. We're missing the bobbin thread. I meant to bring one from home and forgot.
It's over here. Getting close to the end. We're doing that. Yep. So black next.
Open here.
Black, black. And then the outlines.
And then the outlines. Which I think that was what you were going to use the yellow for, is that outline.
Yeah. Maybe. I might just use the orange though, now that I'm looking at it. I think it'll be better.
Keep it all colored.
Yeah.
Instead of, yeah, maybe if you did the yellow there, it would have balanced it, but it might stick out like a sore thumb otherwise.
Right, that's what I think.
So what we're discussing is we had pulled a yellow thinking so that this orange outline might give it some pop, but we're thinking it might stick out like a sore thumb since we don't have that yellow anywhere else. But maybe if we had swapped and done a different color for these letters that we're stitching right now to kind of balance it a little bit. But I actually really like the orange.
Mm-hmm. But since we didn't do the
but
yellow
since we didn't do yellow, yeah, there's no yellow to balance. Mm-hmm. It's not probably gonna look so hot. All right, so we've got some words up here that are going to say open here. I can pull that if you want to grab the black since it's on your side. At least there's no loop that time.
No.
Don't laugh. I was like, that's a weird O. I forgot there was an arrow.
Yeah, that's how you spell open with
That's a
arrows.
very strange O.
And again, if your machine sometimes pops up the bobbin thread, it's probably not going to be super noticeable on this one because of the leather being white underneath there. But you could obviously put your bobbin thread in for that point. And then we're going to do...
And then the black lines, or the lines, you can
Yes.
choose which color. We're going to stick with the dark so that they pop up nicely. We still have some...
We have a lot of satin stitching to do.
Mm-hmm. How are we doing? An hour in. We're doing all
Oh,
right.
yeah, we got plenty of time. They might be a little bit bored. We still got 20-something, 23 minutes of stitching because of all the satin stitch.
So,
Right? All right, back to the teal.
kind of looks like they have yellow
I know.
in there.
The colors are, I don't know why they're that
It's
color.
interesting that they just give you the option of changing it versus
It's not actually a representation of
what they have on the front.
no.
Mm-mm. So now we are into the satin stitches.
I think that if you came from different embroidery, the hardest part for people to do Kimberbell is that they really don't give you the list.
Specific colors of what to put where. It
yeah.
says, choose color, change thread to desired thread color, not put in green, put in.
Right. Right.
So for events, they do. It'll say red. They give you suggested colors into an event project. They usually give you, but even that, it doesn't say color number,
right,
or any, because they are very generic.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give you a thread brand to use, partially because they aren't brand specific for any, they are very generic when it comes to that.
Well,
so they
and
don't
it's also
have
applique, so your color choice is going to be so varied based
on
the fabric and what you're putting it on. Whereas like a traditional applique that might be a sewing machine or a camper or a tree,
right?
You have very specific colors and very specific lines to follow. So I think that for new people coming to Kimberbell, that would be the thing that is a little bit different. Just doing that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering this whole entire outline.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to jump since we're already threaded?
Oh, we certainly can.
So I'm following the picture on the front here, and this entire satin outline over here is we're following the picture. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're just jumping forward, so it's one less thread change, and we're going to just stitch that, so it's one less piece that we have to rethread, and then we'll go back and jump around the other one. So just saving some thread change, and then we'll put the orange in and do the rest. The rest of the other. Just like I said, we're saving a thread change. That's all.
Yep.
Okay. That happened to me the other day, and I have no idea why. I'm like, did I touch something? That was different. Weird. It's like a fuzz hit the screen or something, and it stopped because you touched the screen.
Yeah.
Your hair did it.
Maybe.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. I'm sitting entirely too close to it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is sort of a 9-minute stitch out. So
Yeah, we still have a good 20 minutes total
Right.
of stitching because of all of the satin stitches. So there's a lot of
Right.
And I'm sitting like this so that I don't block your shot here.
Right.
You guys can see what's happening over there. Because if I don't, I'll start talking with my hands and then it'll go right into the camera. And then you won't be able to see those cute little carton stitches.
Yeah.
But
what are we gonna do this afternoon?
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
I've been trying to come up with something
super fun and exciting.
Super fun and exciting.
Yeah.
And
anybody have any suggestions?
Yeah, you guys helped us last time. That was fantastic.
Of
Yeah.
what you want to hear us talk about this afternoon at 3:30.
I don't know. We've got certainly lots of options left, but I'm not thinking really. Not
That's
gonna
all
lie.
right.
They're not thinking clearly either.
I know everybody's so quiet.
Yeah, I know. All 18 of them.
It's early.
It is early.
And the tea towel is not super exciting.
It isn't. It's also not
super
hard. And
right.
There's probably not a lot of help me out. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I know we can do scan and cut something. We can talk about the Canvas workspace. We can show, where you find all the miscellaneous parts and share the computer screen and talk about how to load different things and where to find this, that, and the other thing. Or we could...
Marilyn wants to talk about embroidering on the new OESD vinyl or cork.
Do that.
That's one of those things. There's really nothing special about embroidering on that vinyl or cork.
Your stabilizer
design
and getting the design that's going to
not perforate through.
Yep. You want them to be a light, airy design when you're working with either of those things so that you're not perforating too many needle punctures in any one spot, because both of those products could potentially make a hole.
Miss Shirley says new products. Any new products to show us? We haven't gotten anything new and fun and fancy lately.
Coming up, we will have the brother of the baby lock. Within a couple of weeks, we should have some new ideas of what's coming up that we will be able to talk about. I don't know that we'll be able to wait until 3:30 on a Tuesday to answer that question. It'll probably be
we'll probably have to go
a special live to talk about whatever is upcoming and new.
Right.
I know last year you threw together a slideshow from the pictures that were released.
Which will be August 4th.
Yep.
It's a Wednesday, so it's not, I think, is that next Wednesday? Or the week after?
Yeah.
It's a week from tomorrow, right?
I believe that is correct. Yep. On cards.
It's cute. It's very, very, very cute.
Now that I know what they say, it's actually way
so
cuter.
Much cuter, right? Right? I know.
Yeah, way cuter. It's amazing when you actually look at the design. Crazy thought, isn't it? But yeah, we've got. What do we have coming up? Welcome Home. We got Welcome Home coming up on the 14th, and then the first of the Haunted Home.
Yeah, the Kimberbell Haunted Home.
The end of August. So I still need to stitch out those the instructor kit pieces. We've been so busy I keep wanting to do it, but unfortunately,
Yeah, there's been
time
other
is
things.
not on my side. We've got other things that have been happening. So there is the new collage pillow CD from Kimberbell that is coming out. So if you are, of course, a Bella Box person, which I'm assuming all of you are because you're watching this, there is a CD that gives you additional collage designs intended for pillows.
And that arrived yesterday.
It did get here. Unfortunately, I didn't even get a chance to whip out a knife to open the box.
It is on the website though.
Okay.
I haven't. It's for sale on the website. I just have to load how many came in, but they are up for sale.
Should be 12 because that's our auto ship amount. So assuming somebody can count to 12 over there, we should have 12 in the box.
That's right.
Pretty sure somebody can count to 12 over there. So that should be the case. Paper applique on cards. Yeah, we haven't talked about anything like that.
No. It's been a while.
It has been a hot second.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we could look at that.
Yeah. Maybe we can incorporate some cork or vinyl into a card and kill 4 birds with 1 stone.
And we could cut them on the scan and cut.
Right? How much stuff do you think we could bring over here?
Could bring over and do in an hour? That would be the great question. Oh my gosh, this eye just won't stop watering. It's amazing I could see to cut that. It's just like really watering this morning. My left eye likes to water every morning, but this morning it's excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm almost crying over here.
So Marilyn, we'll see. Depending on how
we got to put it all together.
That's
so
right.
It'll depend on how the next couple of hours goes. I know I have an appointment coming in a little bit. We'll see how that goes, and possibly a pickup coming in today. So we've got some other things that are going on, but we will have to figure something out.
Yeah.
So
maybe we'll try to gather some supplies, and if we can gather the supplies, then I'll shoot out what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
because we'll be partially there.
So I think we have a card around here somewhere from the event that we did eons ago. I think we've got some cards floating around.
I know we have those cute last year's Christmas cards from OESD.
We can certainly pull some of those designs because it's never too early to start making Christmas cards.
Oh my gosh, no, right? Isn't that why Christmas in July? So
Christmas in July is so meant
popular
to get your brain starting to think about Christmas because it comes up way faster than any of us.
Sticky. Anita.
Sticky, absolutely sticky. So a sticky tearaway is certainly the easiest. However, you can use a sticky cutaway because you generally cover up the section of whatever, or depending upon what type you use. So like OESD has the new piece that you actually take the top and adhere it to the card. So it's actually a 2-piece thing.
Right.
You have the card and then you have the card cover, for lack of a better word. So you stitch on the card piece, cut that out, and then put it on the actual card itself. So there's no back that you see. You're applying that directly to the card. So there's no backside that you're seeing the stitches.
Yeah.
A lot of them you stitch directly on the front of the card, and then you place paper or something on the inside of the card to cover those up. Either way, you're going to be covering up the stitches. So you could use a sticky cutaway. If somehow you bought sticky cutaway and you're like, what am I going to do with this? Because I have nowhere to apply this. And it was probably a fairly expensive roll of stabilizer. So look at that. It's Tuesday.
It is.
Miracles can happen. Did I say that out loud?
On camera.
and on camera, but they don't know what I'm talking about.
Your quotes arrived if you sent them out to be
yes,
quoted.
they did. So the stabilizer is definitely I would recommend a sticky tearaway, but it is a place that if you happen to have a sticky cutaway, you could get away with using. And it's a good place to get away with using that because there's not a lot of applications for sticky cutaway.
No.
But they do make it. And unfortunately, sometimes you accidentally buy something because you see sticky great and you
Right.
buy it and then you get it home and you're like, oh,
What am I going to do with this?
what am I going to do with that? So it would be a great way to use that up. It doesn't have to be an embroidered card. You know, you don't have to buy them from the blank, if you will,
Right.
from us or an embroidery place. However, the designs are specifically set to those blanks usually, so it's easier that way. But you can certainly use other cards or cut things down to create them or whatnot yourself. So there's lots of ways that you can do that. So that might be something we could talk about, the different ways to
and why some stuff works and some
why some stuff doesn't. So
that's a good idea, Marilyn. And I think while you're with your gal this morning, I should be able to gather up enough stuff to do that.
Yep.
And get us sort of prepped.
You know, maybe we can talk about what doesn't work.
Yeah, I think that's
and show
super
why
important.
it doesn't work. You know, and the types of stitches, and we can actually stitch them and show.
Yeah.
So this looks really good, but look why it won't work.
Right. Right.
And those kinds of things. Yeah, that sounds great. Maybe we will work on that. Thank you, Marilyn. We will see what we can do. And, you know, if any of you guys tuned in to the OESD last week, you learned a little bit about stitching on cards. We will just expand on that. And there's some great designs out there that are designed specifically for cards, and that is certainly important. So we'll talk about those kinds of things. That sounds great.
Yeah. Thanks for the idea.
Absolutely. This is a nice color orange.
It is a pretty orange.
I'm not a huge orange fan, but I like this orange. It's creamsicle to me. Doesn't it look creamsicle-y?
Yeah, it certainly does.
Yep. And I just still had it in my bag. I never remembered to take it out. It's been sitting in the bottom of my work bag for a week now.
Yeah, no, this is super cute. We have after this is done, I think we have some
the words,
black words that go. Obviously, it could be whatever color you want.
We were gonna do white, but you can do black if you want. I think
I'm gonna, since I didn't use white any place, except for on the juice box. I think I'm gonna do my words in black.
There's a black bobbin right on the top there. I would recommend that since it's not on the leather.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
We are.
And of course, our time tells us nothing because we've already stitched.
Yes.
10 minutes of that. So.
Right.
But we are getting there. Funny, I thought this would not take this long.
It's all the sand stitching. I mean, really, we could probably end this session because we're literally done.
If you're in a hurry, there's really not a whole lot more we can teach you.
No.
So if you do need to take off, basically once this is done, we're going to change the thread, and it's going to stitch words down here that says "Get your creative juices flowing" or something to that effect.
Yep.
And we are going to stitch them in black. So we're going to match our bobbin thread because, again, it's kind of straight stitching. So it's a running stitch that's going to go down there, and you just never know. So better to be safe than sorry. We want that nice, bold, really clean look on those stitches. And the way to guarantee that is to make sure that everything matches so that you don't have any pop-up of a lighter or different color of thread. So make those match. And you're guaranteed to get beautiful letters. And then once you're all done, you can take that out of the hoop. If you are using a wash away, just trim up as close as you can. You can leave it that way until the first time you wash the towel. Or you can, of course, get it wet. It'll go away. And just hang to dry. Just remember, you do not want to press directly on that leather or the vinyl or the heat transfer glitter. So press from the back if you are going to press directly on the towel, or make sure that you're using a pressing cloth if you're pressing from the front. And if you're using a tear it away, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
That's all we got. Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much just a matter of Mom wants one. Oh, it went away. Awesome. Can we just do that?
Yeah, but
We probably need to.
yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so that's how you finish it. So if you do need to take off,
What did your mom want? Oh. I was like, that was a long time ago. I wasn't sure if we were still talking about the thing.
She's probably taking off, is I'm guessing where
Yes,
that is coming from.
That totally makes sense now. I was like, what did we show?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing, honey. Oof.
Put my directions back.
Yeah, the folio ones didn't want to fit in there, did it?
No.
Yeah, that was a tight fit.
It was definitely a tight fit.
That straw cracks me up.
Right.
I remember those little straws.
Yeah. Did you ever go to like day camp or anything when you were a kid? My grandma used to watch me, and there was an elementary school right across the street from their house, and they had a little day camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little too young for the age group that was over there. But for 2 days, like I sat across the street
and watched.
And finally one of the little workers came over and invited me over, and
play.
I was so excited. Yes. Cause I didn't know anybody in the neighborhood. Right. So, but it was so much fun, and they did little crafts, and there was like, like those friendship bracelets and stuff. So I was probably like 8. It was like for 10 and older. And so I was making those little friendship bracelets. But it was a lot of fun. But they had juice boxes, and I was so excited because I had never actually had a juice box with like one of those little the pokey straws in there. Yep. So the girl was showing me the pokey straw, right? She's got like a death grip on this, and it all over her, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just been one of those weird things that I've always
remember.
Yeah, that is exactly what this reminds me of, is just her being covered in like, it was like a juicy juice box.
Yeah. I can't say that my memories are quite that memorable of juice boxes and milk cartons.
Right.
But yeah, I certainly remember them. Yep. All right. So we're going to skip this color because we've already done it.
Yes.
So all we have left is the words. So I am going to go ahead and replace the bobbin thread while she changes the top thread, just to make sure we get that beautiful bold letter stitch, because no chances. Better to plan ahead than be sad, because no sad. We don't want to be sad. And we don't want any of you to be sad. It's really far back there. That's a little more of a reach than we've had yet so far. Okay. So all we have left is just a couple minutes of learning to write in cursive.
Learning to write in cursive, yeah.
It's funny, when we were looking at fonts the other day, we were like, well, people know how to read this?
I know. It's I heard they're teaching that in school again. Like I think that was a thing, and now it's kind of starting to come back, cursive.
I think they got a lot of flack for stopping.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are supposed to sign. I mean, your cursive signature is definitely harder to copy than a printed.
I hear if you flip it upside down, it's easier.
True that.
The things you can learn on TV.
Yeah, it's
Hayden's over there cracking up. He's like,
I used to
have to try that.
It is because your brain sees lines, right, and versus the actual, like, the letter or whatever. So Yeah, I used to draw upside down, like when I had to trace. Exactly. Yep. Because I would see the lines instead of, the face or whatever. So I learned that from good old Mr. Gordon, my art teacher. We didn't use it for copying signatures, but had I known back then,
Had we
right?
only known. So did you have to have your parents sign because you were bad or got a bad grade? Or, you always watch these TV shows where,
Right.
mom and dad had to sign something or other to make sure that they knew you got the D or whatever on the test.
Right.
Is that real? I never got a D on a test, so I don't know if that's real.
I don't think that's real.
That's not a real thing, is it?
Well, maybe. I mean, maybe it depends on my school was pretty small, so there weren't a lot.
They just saw them at the grocery store and went, "Hey, did you know?"
Yeah, right. I don't, but we had a lot of permission slips. And I signed a lot of permission slips for my sisters. I just signed my mom's name on it.
And then they didn't know it was the wrong thing because you always signed it, right?
Until my mom signed one time.
And then they thought that one was the fake one?
Uh-huh. It was pretty funny. But it was my mom's fault because my mom would say, just sign it. Like she knew, right? But it was like my sisters were the typical little kids, right? I forgot. As my mom's walking out the door to go to work. So,
and it needed to be done now.
Right.
And
I was quite a bit older, so I would, but it was hysterical. The one time my mom actually signed it, they were like,
they called her on it.
Yeah. My mom got a pretty good laugh out of that.
So what did she say? Oh, well, usually I have my daughter sign.
She just said, she was just like, no, I know about it.
No,
she said, I just had my daughter sign that, I had her older sister sign that one because
I wasn't home.
I was out of town. So, but it was funny.
That's fun. Yeah. Yeah. The things we did as kids.
Right.
I was a pretty good kid. And I only really did stupid things once or twice. Damned if I didn't get caught both times, which is why I didn't do them very often because it just wasn't worth it.
I don't know. I'm
so
sure.
Mom, Dad, you know about everything I ever did.
Right.
Because that was it.
It was so different for us growing up, though. I mean, comparatively.
Oh, what we did versus what the kids have available
to do,
and yeah.
Right. We couldn't Google it.
No. But neither could my parents track where I was by my phone in my pocket.
True, right. Or your Google account.
True statement.
Yeah. No, it definitely was probably easier to get away with things for us and then for our parents than it is for kids. I mean, there's basically a camera following you everywhere now, right?
Yeah.
Or listening. I can't wait to see what
my TV last night, like 3 times. I told you when I got home, I made dinner.
Yeah.
We put dinner away, and then I sat down and was like, I'm done. Until I go to bed, I'm just going to sit here. And it 3 times while I was watching TV.
Right.
It said, I'm sorry. And then it said, I'm listening. Like, back. I don't want your help. I want to listen to my TV. Show that I'm watching, not you.
Not you.
Yes. Isn't it cute?
It is very, very cute. So we just have to trim up a couple of jump stitches in the leather pieces and
then in between there. Yep. So along, it's basically in the words is really, so the black threads and then a couple little guys in here. So that is literally all that's left. I do recommend snips. Don't try to do those with the larger ones because they're really tight.
Tweezers and snips.
So tweezers and snips are going to be your friend in this situation.
Yeah.
And you'll definitely have better luck than
absolutely.
Definitely not your straight scissor ones that came for free with the machine.
No, don't use those. All right.
So outside of that, you are all set and ready to go.
Yeah.
This is all machine washable. So you can
Mhm.
throw that in the washing machine. And I figure somebody out there is going to ask that question. So
Yeah.
I thought I'd throw that out there.
Definitely.
As far as drying it,
Maybe hang dry.
maybe hang dry.
Yeah.
I think technically they're supposed to be able to be dried as well, but I think it would last longer without the heat being applied to the leather and the heat transfer and all of that stuff. I think you're going to, longevity wise, be happier if you just hang to dry. So, but,
unless it's just a decorative towel, and then you're probably not washing it.
Probably not washing it so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is actually super, super cute finished out. Let's see if I can.
You gonna put it over there?
I was going to. You want to swap real quick?
Oops, wrong swap.
And see if I can aim well. Let's see that way. Isn't it adorable?
It is really cute.
Almost there. Wrong way. That is a lot harder than it should be.
Oh, it's darling though.
So cute.
Yeah.
I'm glad we changed the color on the pear. Actually, I think it's really, really sharp.
It is. It's much better than a peach pear.
Yep. And actually, for anyone who's thinking, I'm going to put glitter everywhere, I think glitter on the other two would be overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend it.
Right.
In case your mind's wandering that way as mine just did. Just in case. So super cute. Have some fun with it. Certainly change your thread colors and enjoy playing with it in that aspect. But I wouldn't add any more glitter. I think that would be a little
it would just
in your
be a
face.
little bit much. Yeah.
Yep. But very, very cute. Careful with your trimming and have some fun. Enjoy that. And we will see you guys later this afternoon.
And Friday is our last
Friday. We're going to do finish up Friday. We're going to do the bookmarks and the create banner. So we're not going to stitch all of the banners. We'll probably do a couple in one hooping so that you guys can see how they're put together. We'll do, like I said, multiples in one shot because why not when you can?
Right.
So we'll do that so you guys can see how fast you can get those all done in one shebang. And then we'll show probably not all 3 bookmarks, but again, maybe we'll see how the timing goes. We want to make sure we can stick within that 2-hour grouping. So I'm kind of thinking 1 hour for one and 1 hour for the other.
Yep.
And we'll do, like I said, multiple hoopings because we can probably fit all of the bookmarks in one hooping as well.
Absolutely.
It'll just be more amount of, we'll have to see the stitch time and how much it's actually going to take.
Right.
So Finish Up Friday is coming up. That will be 9:00 a.m. And then again, of course, we'll see you this afternoon.
Yep.
We'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Have a great one. Take care.